Am I the asshole for testing how prepared my husband is for our baby? Hello, I am pregnant with my first child, and I tend to go overboard with hypotheticals. I've been trying to curb that behavior as we are stressed enough without adding my irrational what-ifs to the mix. One worry that I have is leaving our baby in the back seat of the car. I may be more anxious about it due to my co-worker's daughter nearly dying from being left in the car in the summer heat a few years ago. One of the first things I asked my husband was to check the back seat every time he gets out of the car, just so we can make a habit of it. He understood why I was asking and agreed immediately. A month ago, we were looking for a mobile we brought home from my mom's house. We tore the house apart for days looking at it, and figured we left it behind on accident. While using my husband's car, I found the mobile, not hidden or obscured, but right where we left it on the center seat. I brought it up to my husband, who didn't seem alarmed. He laughed it off as my pregnancy brain. I told him it's been in the back seat this whole time, and he didn't notice. He said it was just decor, and he didn't register it as important even though we were looking for it for days. I reminded him how important it was that he checked the back seat every time he got out of the car, but the gnawing feeling that he's been neglecting looking in the back sat with me for another week before I decided to test it. I took a bright pink Post-it and wrote a note asking him to text me when he sees it and stuck it on the back seat, right in his line of sight. After another week of zero texts or acknowledgement, I asked him if he was really checking the back every day. He promised that he was, so I asked him why he never responded to my note. His reply: "What note?" I freaked out. I yelled about how important it was we check the back every time we are in the car, especially since we both have ADHD, and when it's out of sight, it's out of mind for us. He said that I was being crazy and irrational, and I was setting up tests for him to fail. This spiraled into a fight. He admitted that he hasn't been checking the back seat every day like I asked, and the idea of forgetting a baby in the car is ridiculous and could never happen to us. I brought up every summer there are news reports of babies dying because their parents left them in a hot car. He called those parents irresponsible, said it could never be us. I asked him if he thought my coworker was one of those irresponsible parents. He had no response and asked to table the discussion until we had time to cool off. I agreed, but we have yet to return to it. Since then, anytime we talk about the baby, he'll ask if I think this is another way he'll accidentally kill the baby. My husband is not a passive-aggressive person, and I'm realizing how hurt he is by all of this. I want to try explain in a calm way how I feel and how important I find this, but with his behavior lately I'm starting to wonder if he's right, and am I the asshole? You are the asshole. I suggest looking into a therapist before baby comes. It seems like you are having high anxiety, which could develop into a more severe issue postpartum. It is important to remember your baby in the back seat. If you think he or yourself would have that problem, place your shoes next to the car seat before going somewhere. You won't forget if you step out of your car with no shoes on. You will remember very quickly. You are the asshole. You're being irrational and crazy. Yes, your co-worker is irresponsible for forgetting her baby, and every time you ask your husband to check the back seat for an imaginary baby, you're implying that he is also irresponsible. Soft, you are the asshole. Your anxiety is extreme and deserves professional help. Also, car cameras for the back seat are a great way to see the back seat. You are the asshole. Don't make test for your spouse. The baby isn't here. He knows at the moment there isn't a child in the car. He's not going to check the back seat. When the baby gets her, he will definitely be aware that there is a child in the car. They are kind of hard to miss. Not to mention how stressed people get over driving with a baby. This is so dumb. The baby isn't here. Chill out. There is no reason to think he will leave the baby in the car. You are the asshole. Sorry, but you are going way overboard right now. You are the one causing the issues here. There is no reason right now to check your back seat. You are acting like only your feelings are valid with a baby on the way. Also, I am ADHD. Guess both my kids have never been left in the car, because even when they were babies, I would interact with them while I was driving, just talking to them. Imagine your husband being absolutely hurt by your tests and actions, and he has to wait for Reddit to tell you you're an asshole before he can get his apology. You are the asshole. Am I the asshole for not acting excited enough when opening my birthday gifts? Today was my 16th birthday, and I get stressed out opening gifts in front of my family because I'm not able to perform the level of excitement they expect, and it's a huge problem every year. They want me to jump up and down and cry, and my reactions are not extreme enough for them. My mom especially will always film the birthday videos to post on Facebook and she gets mad when everyone doesn't sing happy birthday perfectly in sync, which causing screaming arguments with my dad. So that happened, and my dad was angry that she kept making everyone re-sing it over and over again, causing the candles to melt all over the cake. Then he stormed off before I opened my presents. I opened the gift from my mom, which was a waxing kit for waxing your legs, but I don't even shave my legs, so I was like, oh, this is such an interesting gift. How did you come up with this? She was filming my reaction to post on Facebook, and I didn't get excited enough, so she got mad and was like, what, you don't like it? I'll just take it back then. I was like, no, I'm just wondering what made you decide to get this. She then turned off the camera and was crying dramatically, saying to herself, how did I raise a daughter like this? This kind of always happens, and I asked why. She always has to cry and ruin it every year. She said, I guess I'm just the worst mom ever then, and walked away. Not the asshole. You and your dad have to sit mom down and tell her Facebook is no longer invited to family occasions. For what it is worth, I don't get overly excited at family gift giving. Mostly because, like you, they don't really get me, so, while I'm grateful for the generosity of a gift, I'm not necessarily super excited at the contents. I don't think your reaction to the gifts is the issue here, though. I suspect you are being scapegoated by someone with a social media/external validation problem. To be honest, it's a terrible gift, especially if you don't wax your legs. Not the asshole. Oh, kid. Sad face. You are not an asshole here at all. You did nothing wrong here. You have been raised by an emotionally neglectful and abusive narcissist. I strongly suggest you look into what that is, and look into how to put up with that for the next couple of years till you can get out. When you are old enough, do exactly that. By any means. Do not allow her to guilt you into staying. She. Clapping hands is. Clapping hands abusing. Clapping hands you. Clapping hands. No one deserves treatment like that. And you deserve to have a nice birthday. Not feel like you have to walk on eggshells on a day that should be a celebration. That is not normal or healthy behavior. Chin up. You can get through it. I'd enforce a no filming rule from here on out. What a horrible ordeal. ETA, not the asshole. Not the asshole. It seems your mum is the problem. Wow, both of your parents sound incredibly emotionally immature. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for not wanting to take my wife's ex's kids on a family vacation? Apologies in advance for the mess that this all is. My wife, 43F, and I, 45M, have been married for 8 years and have 2 kids, 8 and 6. My wife also has a 10-year-old daughter with her ex. My wife and her ex were never married, but her ex also has 2 kids, 12 and 13, that my wife was basically a stepmom to. We live in a smallish town, 9-10,000 population, so all the kids go to the same school district and see each other regularly. My wife obviously is still in contact with her ex regarding their daughter, and we routinely get all the kids together, including exes, for birthdays and stuff like that. My wife and I have been wanting to take a family vacation for a couple years now, but have waited until our youngest is a bit older. This would be our first family vacation. We decided to start planning something for spring break 2026, since all the kids have time off from school, and our youngest will be 7 by then. We decided to take the kids to Disneyland, the California one. We booked everything a little over a month ago. Of course, my wife talked with her ex about taking their daughter. So, the plan was my wife and I taking our 2 kids and my wife's daughter. Sometime between now and then, ex's kids and my wife's daughter got into an argument while daughter was at ex's house, and my wife's daughter used the, yeah, well I'm going to Disneyland, and you're not line. That opened up a whole can of worms, and now ex's 2 older kids are jealous, and making life difficult for daughter every time she spends time at ex's house. My wife and her ex have been talking about this, and somehow they came up with the idea that ex's 2 older kids could come with us on our trip in order to smooth things over. My wife told me about the idea a couple of days ago. Here's her rundown. Ex would pay for all expenses for the older kids. Flights, extra hotel room, tickets to the park, spending money, etc. But he wouldn't be coming with. So instead of our first family vacation, we are supposed to bring 2 additional kids that neither of us are biologically related to. I immediately shot that idea down. It's not that I have anything against ex's kids, they're fine. But this idea changes the trip completely, and for me at least, turns it from a family vacation to a borderline nightmare I want nothing to do with. My wife got upset with me because I didn't hear her out. But to me, There's no amount of planning or attention to details that is going to make adding 2 additional kids to this trip worth it. I know my wife is still close to X's kids. She basically raised them while they were together. Wife and X haven't told the older kids about the idea yet, thank God, but she's still trying to convince me that this is a good idea and everything will work out. I don't want to, but I'm thinking of just canceling the whole thing unless she agrees to keep our original family plan. But I know if I do that then I will be the bad guy to everyone involved. Personally, I would be telling the daughter if she rubs her good fortune into other people's faces and then get upset that they are mean to her, that the consequences of her actions is what she is experiencing. In addition, if she is going to be a mean child, she will lose the right to go on the holiday and will stay with her dad. Not the asshole. Her ex should go on his own vacation with his kids. Otherwise, you are babysitters. Ta. If the ex's kids are 12/13 YRS old, and you have been with your wife for 8 years, then how is it possible that she was basically a stepmom to those kids and raised them? They were together for a very short period of time when the kids were toddlers. I think unnecessarily you guys blended the family more than it needs to and gave more concessions to the ex that he is demanding that you take his bio kids whom you and your wife have no relation to on a trip to Disneyland. Also, the older kids will ruin the trip. They won't have many rides or interests in common with the younger ones. Your wife needs to cut the cord with her ex except for parenting their one child together. Not the asshole. Adding 2 more kids is a ton more work, no matter if the ex pays for everything. If the ex can pay for that, why can't he take his kids on his own? Ex is more than welcome to take his own kids to Disneyland on his own dime and time. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. The addition of 2 older kids would change the dynamics of the trip. The types of things they want to do will likely be different than what your younger kids want to do. Am I the asshole for ruining Christmas for my BFS family? Me F20S, my boyfriend M20S, and his brother BM20S lived together peacefully for 2 years. A year ago, B's long-distance girlfriend, F20S, moved in. We were initially friends, but the dynamic quickly changed. When I got a kitten, the girlfriend became paranoid, despite our cats getting along great, and blamed my kitten for every issue. No matter how unreasonable, I was told my 10-week-old cat should be trained not to enter her room after she left the door open and something broke. I spent months over accommodating her to avoid conflict, constantly walking on eggshells. The core issue was that for 6 months, the girlfriend did virtually no housework, never touching a broom, dishwasher, or common area while staying home. Her boyfriend also became lazier, only doing the bare minimum. Me and my boyfriend were feeling overwhelmed with our work and school schedule, so I called a calm house meeting to suggest a chore rotation, without naming names. They immediately became defensive and demanded an example of what they needed to clean. When I pointed out their dried barbecue sauce on the counters, they denied it, and the girlfriend accused me of attacking her. The brother reluctantly agreed to help, but essentially stopped speaking to me. The situation peaked when she neglected her cat's litter box, her only chore, for an entire week in our laundry room. When I politely asked her to scoop it daily due to the strong odor, she told me if it bothered me, I should do it, despite me already scooping 2 other boxes daily. I received a barrage of texts where she accused me of bullying her and trying to make her look lazy. She sent an itemized list of grievances, including the time I kindly offered them dinner when they were sick. The passive aggression escalated. She later got blackout drunk from the anxiety I caused her, and her boyfriend blamed me. She then blamed my cat for throw up in her shoe. It was constantly something either my cat did, or some way I slighted her. After another discussion, they agreed to try to get along for the lease remainder. We said hello in the morning, acted polite, even cracked a few jokes. I thought things were getting better. B and girlfriend said they had no issue with me and wanted things to be okay. Despite this, they canceled attending BF/BS grandfather's funeral because we were going, and they couldn't stand pretending to like me. My boyfriend angrily confronted his brother over this. They then announced we had created an abusive environment, left abruptly in 2 days, flipped us off while departing, and stuck us with the full rent and bills. We have been blocked ever since. Every year, my BF's large family gathers at a cabin for Christmas. Now, the siblings are divided and arguing over who should attend me/boyfriend or the brother/GF. The stress is threatening to cancel the long-standing family tradition. Some siblings are blaming me for ruining Christmas by starting the conflict. I feel like I started a terrible domino effect. Am I the asshole? Good Lord. His siblings ruined their own Christmas by getting this wrapped up in things that had absolutely nothing to do with them. His brother and girlfriend moved out of their own accord. Are the rest of his siblings teenagers? That is the only thing that would make this nonsensical overreaction remotely understandable. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but bow out. Let your boyfriend go if he wants to, but your presence will cause issues and it not be a good time for you. The rest of the family will soon see the girlfriend is the issue. Not the asshole. I think your BF's brother is the golden child, and they're blaming you because their precious baby surely couldn't be the problem. Not the asshole, it's their fault. They're both extremely immature. Hopefully you can live separately soon. Not the asshole. The partner of a person always gets blamed for family changes, even if the family itself is the cause of the change. You got stuck with two immature people and asked for normal household help. It's so stupid and immature to bail on a funeral. It's all on them, not you. Not the asshole. Everyone should be invited to Christmas, and if everyone attends, they should act like adults. But where the hell does your boyfriend appear in this saga? Why isn't he managing his brother?